대낮에도 어두컴컴했던 도시가 영국 런던이었습니다. 연기와 안개가 섞인 스모그라는 말도 이때 이곳에서 생겨났습니다. 12,000여 명이 사망하는 일도 벌어졌습니다. 그 주범 중에 하나가 바로 배터시 화력발전소였습니다. 오래전에 가동을 멈춘 발전소는 쓸쓸한 분위기마저 자아냅니다.
Battersea Power Station was obviously formerly a power station serving London. It provided something like 20% of all of London's electricity. You almost either side of the Second World War, so the first part through the sort of early 1930s, and then the second part was built after the Second World War.
유럽 최대의 벽돌 건물은 수십 년 동안 버려져 있다가 건축가의 손끝에서 새로 태어나고 있습니다. 영국 정부가 일찌감치 전통 건축물로 지정했기 때문에 가능한 일이었습니다.
Well, when it was decommissioned in 1983. It was then listed within the government that Margaret Thatcher was running at the time. So it became a listed building. It wanted to be protected and you know, really become part of London's skyline and make sure that was protected for the long term.
오랫동안 런던의 스카이라인을 지켜온 배터시 발전소는 2021년 다시 문을 열게 됩니다.
We started building back in 2013 and we've been now moving all the way through and as I said it's a mixed-use development which many people probably aren't as familiar with as we'd like them to be, and I think understanding that yes, whilst there's a lot of homes that we are going to be building, it is also it's a town. There is going to be huge office space, huge retail opportunities, huge outside space, 18 acres of public space.
재생이 끝나면 애플 영국 사무실과 250여 개의 레지던스, 쇼핑몰이 들어섭니다. 우리 돈으로 무려 13조 원이 투입되는 대규모 사업. 이렇게 천문학적인 돈을 들여 이곳을 재생하는 이유는 뭘까요? 다 그만한 가치가 있기 때문입니다. 런던은 버려진 화력발전소를 부활시킨 경험이 있습니다. 요즘 말로 대박이었습니다.
Tate Modern came to this area when I was about 7. So before this time, the area was very run down. There was nothing here. There was old buildings. None of these business people were here. And it was known as the area which was very scary and the place not to go to.
문 닫은 발전소가 미술관으로 부활하면서 사람들이 몰려들었습니다.
The Tate Modern has brought millions and millions of people to the area and has made this area much more exciting, much more vibrant.
미술관이 관광객들만 불러 모은 건 아닙니다.
Well, I think there's economic benefits in terms of new jobs and bringing people to the area, in terms of helping to support local shops, for example. There's social benefits because it's brought a piece of the Thames Riverside back into use. People previously didn't really go there and use it. That's a new public spaces that people can use, both inside Tate Modern and outside.
어떻게 이런 건축물들은 수십 년 동안 철거되지 않을 수 있었을까? 영국에서는 1930년 이전에 지어진 건물을 전통 건축물로 지정해 보존합니다. 건축물이 지닌 사회적이고 역사적인 가치, 건축물에 따라서 1등급과 특 2등급, 2등급으로 분류합니다. 명단에 오른 전통 건축물은 현재 37만여 개, 영국 전체 건축물 수의 30%에 이릅니다. 하지만 박제하는 방식으로 건축물을 보존하는 건 아닙니다.
So the idea that historic buildings can't change in use, that they should remain, forever frozen at a particular time, is not something that I think is that kind of common in people's thinking anymore. I think people have largely accepted that buildings need to evolve and adapt, and that's the only way that you'll keep them in use.
긴 시간과 많은 비용을 투자해 되살릴 만한 가치가 있기 때문입니다. 영국의 재생건축은 지역 공동체와 주민들을 중심에 두고 있습니다. 이 때문에 건축을 되살리는데 사회적 기업이나 비영리 단체들의 활동이 활발합니다.
My name is Esteban Chiton. I am a filmmaker. I used to be a photographer. I decided to move in this country because I was appealed to do my own social enterprise. When I moved in this country, I was still very poor and I couldn't speak English, so it was quite difficult for me to adapt. And then eventually I learned English and I was able to connect with different artists here locally, but also in the town.
치통 씨 같은 가난한 예술가들도 공동체에 자리 잡을 수 있게 비영리 단체가 돕고 있습니다. 런던 해크니구의 HCD, 해크니 개발협동조합도 그중 한 곳입니다.
So I joined this place here thanks to Hackney Corporate Development, HCD, which offered me a very good deal for renting the studio. I didn't have much money. Without HCD, I wouldn't have been able to do it because it would have been too expensive. The rent were far too expensive for me.
HCD는 낙후된 우범지대였던 해크니 달스턴 지역을 변화시키겠다는 목표로 1980년대 만들어졌습니다.
So you see all the building here, not all of them, but a lot of them belong to HCD.
오래된 건물들을 활용해 소상공인과 예술가 등 도시 변화에 충격을 받기 쉬운 주민들에게 도움을 주고 있습니다.
The rent here is maybe possibly half the price of what I will pay normally, and even could be even more sometimes, And I am in the art of Dalston, which nowadays is very trendy. When I moved in, it wasn't as trendy as that.
낡고 저렴한 건물을 사들이고 이를 수리해 싸게 임대해주는 전략입니다.
Our strategy was to acquire property. So what we did is we acquired property, but we then used it for the common good, rather than for private enrichment. Obviously, it's not so that we suffer. But we're not there to make an enormous amount of profit out of the business. We're there to support local businesses in a way that can be supported.
저렴한 임대 공간을 얻기 위해서는 나름 엄격한 심사를 거쳐야 합니다.
We have 75 tenants in these 6 properties. And when a property becomes free, we publicly invite people. They have to be from Hackney or have some engagement with Hackney. So it's about local economic development.
세입자는 지역 공동체를 더 나은 곳으로 만들어줄 사람들로 까다롭게 선별하고 있습니다.
They have to have an idea which promotes the common good, not just my private property, my private pocket, you see. Because what happens with gentrification is that people build property and they're living in Dubai. So they build a property, it looks fantastic, and then they don't actually invest in the local community.
HCD 덕분에 버려졌던 장소들은 주민들을 위해 쓰이고 있습니다.
Before it was still called Guild Square, but it was just a huge car park, and it was nothing. 10 years ago, they start to change this place, to make the pavement, to make a square, and to start organize more and more live events, music event a lot, with the carnival.
다스턴에서는 뚜렷한 변화가 나타나고 있습니다.
And the idea is like eventually we're going to develop more workshops, more events. There was like also a carnival event last week, which was really interesting. So this place could be packed with security people, no car.
경제적 이익을 남기는 것. 그것이 재생건축의 유일한 목적이 돼서는 안 됩니다.
We then choose based on the social impact. So it's not just can they afford it. It's what social impact will this property, will this business provide? Is it good for the community? Yeah? What's missing? What's good in the community that's needed?
변화에 대응하면서 지역 공동체와 정체성을 지키는 것. 바로 재생건축의 목적입니다.
So I think there's a number of benefits of reusing historic buildings. They can be very good modern workspaces or housing units, as well as being something that the community values much more than some new buildings.
런던 해크니구에서 HCD와 함께 지역사회를 지원하는 사회적 기업은 350여 곳으로 늘어났습니다. 재생건축이 쏘아올린 작은 공의 효과입니다.